Thank you for listening to District of Dreams. If you enjoyed this story, please make sure to subscribe and review wherever you're listening to our podcast. You can find more of our actual plays on our website at www.hallowedhavenstudios.com. Please consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/hallowedhavenstudios. Your support helps make more stories like this possible.
Hello, I'm Bookkeeper, and I'm playing Crook, the Red Cap Wilder. Our pronouns are he, him.
Hi, I'm Hannah Marie. I'm playing Elodie Blight, a Claricon childling, and her pronouns are she, her. My pronouns are she, they.
Hi, I'm Clara Allison, and I play Georgina Byrne, a sulky wilder. Her pronouns are she, her, and my pronouns are she, they.
Hello, my name is Madam Ava. I play Sigrun, the Slua, and we both use she, her pronouns.
And I'm Bloodied Porcelain. I will be your storyteller for the evening. It is January 11th, 2025, a Saturday. We find ourselves on H Street in Washington, D.C., in a building catty-cornered from the government accounting office, but within sight of the Irish Channel pub and Granny Za's weed dispensary. We're in a brick building. The bricks may have been red once, but age has turned them to more of a salmon color. The two stories above the street level have windows with blinds and curtains that indicate the presence of apartments. And the basement also has curtains and blinds indicating another apartment. But it's the street level we're worried about. At the top of the landing steps is a painted vine, or perhaps a beanstalk wrapped around a door. And a sign is bolted to the brick that reads, Magic Beans Coffee Shop. Magic Beans is almost always a little dim, but cozy. The windows let golden light set dust motes sparkle in during the day, but keep the place from being too cavern-like. The air smells like coffee, spices, old books, and just the barest hint of wood smoke. The space is laid out in such a way that it is a little hard to realize just how many actual rooms or spaces make up the shop's layout. The main room of the shop features a sunken conversation pit lined in bookshelves and filled with coffee tables and couches and fat, comfy armchairs, each one lovingly sourced and broken in from innumerable estate sales and thrift stores up and down the East Coast. It seems, as a rule, that there is a doily for every chairback, each with seasonably appropriate lacy patterns no one notices, except the most meticulous of observers. The shelves are full of books, everything from romance to reference, and all well-loved and stewarded. Between the books are antiques and tchotchkes brought in from all over, to the point that at least one well-meaning patron has referred to the space as looking like it swallowed an I Spy book. The main room's best feature is by far the eclectic fireplace in a round black stove, nestled in the corner like a sleeping pot-bellied dragon. Patrons are always charmed by the fire that crackles an odd blue color. Just LEDs, of course, the workers here will say with a wink. Deeper into the shop, a small room with cafe tables boasts the only matching sets of furniture in the entire place. A patch of lit floor acts functionally as a stage for book readings, community leader speeches, and the sad, sweet musicians that one barista occasionally brings home. It is also the only room not lined in shelves, instead showcasing local visual artists' work, including pieces by another barista, who is currently settled in with her sketch pad. Elodie, what are you working on today?
Work on most days. Just some ideas that came to me, some sword fights and action scenes for my soon-to-be upcoming graphic novel, but it has been an upcoming graphic novel for about a decade, so take what I say with a grain of salt.
Excellent. Behind the counter is a casually reclining, vaguely disengaged looking young woman with stunning looks, long brown hair with bits of white in it, vitiligo coloring her skin, potentially leafing through a paperback at the moment as she's between customers. Georgie, what are you reading?
Rowan's not in, so I can actually read one of his books without him noticing.
Excellent.
It's old. I've taken it from the library here.
I love that. The door opens, letting in a rush of cold January air. There is snow on the ground outside, and the smell of freshly fallen sleet. And in stomps a man in a tall red top hat. Crook, what are you up to today?
Crook has just finished teaching a couple of young aspiring activists how to get in a fight and not A, get arrested, or B, end up needing medical attention. And he returns, he shakes off the cold, he walks over to one of the bookshelves where there are a set of coffee mugs. He grabs a large one that looks like it might have been designed to originally be a soup bowl, and around it are painted the words, "Go away." And he walks over and he puts it on the counter and he just looks at Georgie. Please.
Yeah, sure. How does Crook take his coffee?
Black with simple syrup.
Yeah, based on the size of the cup, Georgie just empties the pot into it.
Excellent. A door a little bit deeper into the coffee shop, one that is hidden behind yet another door that says employees only, opens. It is a little early in the day for your downstairs neighbor, Sigrun, to wander in. She does it on occasion, especially when she knows that she's due to give someone a tarot reading. But as far as you guys are aware, given the snow outside and the sleet that's been coming down, no one's anticipating too many people coming in. So it's a little bit of a shock when the employees only door opens and Sigrun steps in. Sigrun, it is brighter up here than is necessarily fully comfortable for you, given the sunlight kind of reflecting off of the snow outside. But you do know that there are blinds and curtains on the windows here that can be kind of drawn enough to make it a little bit more comfortable for you, should you wish to.
Sigrun always tends to carry sunglasses with her, just in case, just due to the lighting, not wanting to be too imposing on customers. She's fine with just sunglasses right now.
Excellent. For the moment, it is really just the four of you. There have been a couple of people who have wandered in throughout the day, usually neighborhood locals. No one stayed for very long due to the weather. But you're almost always open. It takes a pretty major event for you to not be here. And the advantage to days like today is that those of you who are of the changeling way can come in on days like today, get your fill of being in your freehold, and you don't have to worry about your mortals who are admittedly enchanted but can't really benefit from most of the stuff here, taking up space and kind of getting in the way a little bit. Your balefire kind of crackles merrily in the corner. It's weird, given that it's blue, it puts off that cold light that doesn't quite feel natural or normal when there's snow outside, but also creates an interesting effect. Feels like something out of a movie when you put the the white of the snow and that kind of deep blue of the fire against each other. Sigrun, what are you up to today?
Sigrun had some work from home. It's her time to catalog some of the children's books at her office, and she's cataloging and making sure that they're up to date on the late great Nikki Giovanni's children book collection.
Oh, perfect. So we are stewarding in more of the collections up on the shelves that people can come in and kind of take down, read for a little while. Some people will replace them with a book from home so that they can borrow it for a few days, but it's become a kind of standing rule and agreement among those who frequent this place that if you take a book, you have to bring a book, and you always have to bring the book you took back. Otherwise, you might get people. There have been a couple of people who have said that they felt so bad claiming a book and not returning it when they should have. That it was weird. It was like their subconscious was guilting them because they had bad dreams after. All right, guys, what are you doing on this cold and quiet Saturday?
Well, Elodie will let out a very, 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 very long sigh and just, I'm bored. Yeah, I'm bored.
Do you need work to not be bored?
No, I need fun to not be bored, because work is just work, and then I would be working bored.
Well, you should have at least clarified that, because I can give you busy work.
No, please. No, thank you.
I'd suggest making your own fun, but we all remember the puppet theater incident.
You love the puppet theater.
No, I don't.
I promise you, they're still hanging around in the apartment somewhere.
You need to look at me right now. Elodie, you need to look at me right now and tell me there are no puppets in my apartment.
I pointedly avoid eye contact.
Elodie.
I'm sure they'll turn up eventually. They do tend to have minds of their own.
Can someone watch the counter?
Oh, wait, why? What are you doing?
I'm checking the apartment for puppets.
No! They have as much a right to be there as you do.
No, they
They
don't.
pay rent.
I'm genuinely considering heading upstairs to make sure there aren't surprise puppets in my apartment.
If you would like to go upstairs to make sure that there are not surprise puppets, you absolutely can.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with Elodie is that if like 50% of the time, Elodie's jokes are not jokes.
But they're still funny.
And that's why there's slightly the concern of, what do you mean they pay rent?
They find pennies under the couch.
Crook, you were going to say something?
Georgie, are you afraid of puppets?
I'm not afraid of puppets. I'm uncomfortable with the idea of a puppet being in my shower when someone else was going to be in there.
All right, just needed to make a note. Get behind the counter, Squirt. Let Georgie go puppet hunting.
What is it about calling me Squirt?
Look, stands up, walks over to her. This is why I call you Squirt.
Crook towers over Elodie at, what is he, 6'4"?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a full foot shorter than you.
Get behind the counter.
Okay. And I waddle over, and I don't go around the back of the counter. I climb over the counter.
Just another day at the Magic Beans coffee shop, am I right? Elodie, I have to ask you a serious question.
I'm very serious all the time.
Are there puppets in the apartment?
Of course there are puppets in the apartment, but they're not like marionettes. They're sock puppets.
I get the feeling that doesn't matter. Where are the puppets?
Well, 2 of them are in my little sectioned off area, my room. and one of them may or may not be under Georgie's pillow.
Oh my god. Okay. Cool. Georgie,
Yes.
I'm gonna need a roll from you. And if you give me a second, I will tell you what roll.
First roll of the game, locate puppets.
Yep.
Woo.
We're gonna go with perception and alertness. Yeah, that seems right.
Standard puppet difficulty.
4 successes. Show me where
Good
those
lord!
fucking puppets are.
If only you had a specialty, that would be wild. Okay. Georgie also disappears behind the employees only door and climbs the stairs into her apartment and proceeds to kind of go a little nuts, if we're being realistic about how this looks. She starts to sort of tear things apart, looking for the aforementioned puppets.
I do yell up after her, "Don't hurt them, they have souls!"
Don't shout.
Okay.
In the apartment, the first puppet you find is under your pillow.
It's always the first place I have to look.
Because you go to your personal spaces first. And you manage to locate it, and it's this kind of floppy little sock puppet. And you're pretty sure you've seen this sock before. It is made out of a really nice, like high quality, high thread count, like business sock, dress sock, like a men's dress sock. And you have a distinct memory of Carter, your current will they, won't they?
You can say situationship.
The last time he was here, when he went to leave, saying that he was going to have to leave without a sock because he couldn't find one of them. You're pretty sure you just figured out where the sock disappeared to.
Elodie.
You also find the others. All seems to be fine. You kind of tear the whole place apart. You can't find any others. While we're here, would you like to describe what your apartment and your bedroom look like?
Georgie's apartment is favorably considered small. Being an intern doesn't pay well. Being a part-time barista doesn't pay well. So it really is there by the grace of Rowan that we have the place. It's decorated. Honestly, if it wasn't for Rowan, it would also be decorated sparsely. It would be decorated sparsely, but it's got it's fully furnished in secondhand thrift goods, which means like downstairs, nothing matches. But it also has this like beachcomber energy where shelves are covered in pieces of driftwood that we've found, or like just things from nature that you would find. And a lot of it is sentimental things that Georgie has brought from the West Coast. And also, weirdly enough, like pennants from her from college. So she has her Berkeley, she has a Berkeley pennant, and she has a Georgetown one because she's proud of that shit. And yeah, in her bedroom, she has a queen size bed that takes up the entire room. So on pretty much the entire room. So like the narrow corner in which that she can get, the narrow like edges of the space have like clothes favorably piled. Georgie is not clean. Well, she's not tidy.
They're at least sorted into worn, not worn.
Yes.
And then at some point she's going to have to take it to the dry cleaners, but she can't afford that right now. Those are those.
Basically. It is, for being cluttered and messy physically, it is, I would say, weirdly spotless in like a dust way, or like the dishes are always clean. Everything's dusted, everything's clean. It's just, there's a lot of stuff and not enough apartment.
Understood. Since you have to go into Elodie's room to hunt down the rogue sock puppets, Elodie, would you mind describing your room?
So my room is not a room. As we said, this is a very small apartment. Very technically, it is a one bedroom apartment. But we have kind of cordoned off with curtains a little section for me in the main living space. It is a twin mattress that is spread out on the ground and surrounded on all sides by beat up secondhand, some of them probably found in the trash, paperbacks and books, and there are keychains everywhere and little tchotchkes from souvenir shops, and there are lights strung from the ceiling. Some of them are like kind of those fancy glass globe lights. Some of them are cheap Christmas lights that one bulb goes out, they all go out kind of thing. And it is the definition of a comfortable chaos ADHD nest. And sitting very proudly on the not super neat mattress are two sock puppets that look very much like Elodie and Georgie. And spread out next to them is a half-finished t-shirt project that is just a t-shirt with puffy paint on it that says "Sealing My Heart." And that's Elodie's room.
Georgie, you gather up the last of the sock puppets from Elodie's room, getting to see her latest project that she is planning to give you, no doubt, as every t-shirt she gives you seems to be some sort of seal pun, including the one that you're currently wearing. I will leave it up to you if you are able to still be mad as you return downstairs with the sock puppets clenched in one hand.
Elodie, I really want... Can we not make sock puppets out of Carter socks? And I will hold up the puppet.
I wanted to give him a present because I seemed to make him uncomfortable, and I wanted him to feel welcome.
I don't think that stealing... Carter's not a puppet guy.
Well, is he a man or is he a Muppet? That was the inspiration. It's art. You don't get it.
Can I counsel? And I'll look at Crook and Sigrun.
What?
This feels out of line.
So you come into a Cluricon's house and expect to leave with both your socks? That seems like folly at that point. You cannot blame me for my nature.
There can be no blame for nature. However, there can be blame in not calming oneself at times.
I was trying to be nice. I thought he'd like it. They're like, it's like a piece of him.
I can understand that, dear. How about next time we collaborate with Carter and see what art he appreciates, and then you move from there, because as he said, art is subjective. Some people do not get it and some don't, some do. You just need to find the ones that Carter appreciates. Is that a good... What is the word?
Wine.
Meeting? Yes.
I guess I can make that work as a compromise.
Compromise. Good.
She'll go back to the books.
As you all watch Elodie kind of slump just a little bit, you swear you could see the tips of her pointed ears almost curled downward, just a little pouty, just a little.
Elodie, come here.
I trudge over.
Sit down.
I sit.
Crook goes into his pocket, pulls out a money clip, pulls out 2 20s, slides them to her. Buy him new socks.
$40 for socks?
Based on the sort of people Georgie dates, yeah, probably. But look at it this way: if you buy him a new pair, you're free to steal another one, and then he has match.
Can I keep the change?
Yes.
Excellent.
If you buy him Target socks, I will know.
What's wrong with Target?
Nothing. But you took an expensive sock. You're going to buy him expensive socks. You're going to have trouble sewing without your fingertips. And he clacks his teeth.
See, you've threatened that before. Still got all my fingers.
Oh, you want to see if I'm playing for real?
Yeah, kinda.
He very slowly puts down the pen he was making notes in his little journal on. Puts his bookmark in place, closes his book slowly, cracks his fingers.
Okay, hold on.
GG? GG?
Are you sure?
GG, I'm being bullied, and I hide behind Georgina.
Warning, this is a warning. All right?
Can I keep the puppets?
Replace the socks.
I can replace the socks. I hold my hands out for my puppets.
And I will relinquish the puppets back.
Okay, I'll put on the Georgie one and the Carter one, and I'll go nom, 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 nom.
No, okay.
And then I run away.
In the moments following Elodie running away to flee Georgina's grasp, and Georgina following with that kind of sedated, determined trudge, the door opens again. In the door steps a strikingly beautiful young woman who you are all very familiar with. Kiera Rhodes is in a heavy, down-filled jacket, with her hands shoved in her pockets, and a messenger bag hanging from one shoulder, and a large kind of fluffy. Oh my goodness, doesn't matter. She's dressed for the weather, to say the least. Walks in, and her kind of dark blue eyes kind of glance around the moment of chaos that is Elodie, cackling and fleeing and triumphantly holding two sock puppets in each hand as she runs through the room, and she just sort of lets out a breath when she realizes that the only people who are here are the rest of you. Hi. She kind of looks at the empty counter.
Seeing that the 2 staff members chased each other upstairs, Brooke will sigh, stand up, walk over behind the bar, put on his best shark smile, and go, "Can I help you?"
Hi, Sir Crook. I'll just take a peppermint tea, please. And
sure. I can figure that out.
I know Rowan's out of town right now, but is he, are there cookies?
I think there's still some in the jar. Hang on.
Thank you. As you get her everything, she kind of takes it and kind of glances around, and then she spots Sigrun, after she, slides money across the counter to you. Thank you. And she'll kind of look over at Sigrun and perk up a little bit. Hey.
It is for the horses.
I know I had to cancel our last reading. Since you're here, would you mind doing one now? I'm sorry. The weather and everything. My professor dumped a bunch of stuff on us at the last minute instead of putting it off until after the storms. I just didn't have time.
Pay the full amount and extra tip.
I always do.
Pay extra.
Extra. For the cancellation fee, okay.
But fine. Sit.
She will make her way over to her favorite table. And settle in. Set her book bag aside. You would know you're not entirely sure how seriously Kira takes just like the standard tarot readings that you do for her. She never asks you to utilize cantrips. She believes in your ability as an oracle without the use of that. And at the very least seems to enjoy this as something that isn't like academic. It is just kind of a nice break from like the mundanity of her life. And has expressed on multiple occasions that the advice that you have given has worked out for her. So she settles in at her favorite table, makes it a point to grab a couple of napkins from the little like napkin dispenser up near the bar, just to wipe everything down, just to be safe. Not that she doesn't trust the place, but she does not want your cards to get messed up. And then, kind of peels off her jacket and everything and waits for you.
All right.
So, remind me, what was the question that you had for the cards?
I want to know what to expect in the new year. Other than snow.
Of course. Let us see here.
And she will do her shuffling. For this reading today, it is coming from the literary tarot that came out, I believe, last year. We just because of the theming of bookstore and coffee.
Excellent.
The first card that is pulled is the Judgment Upright, and it is based off of Dante's Inferno.
Your past, it seems. There was an awakening of sorts, a renewal. There was something in your mind that you finally had that spark of realization. And that will come to terms once the Hierophant comes into view in your present. This is the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea in reverse. This will be the seed of rebellion, new methods, but you must be careful because it will lead into ignorance. And it is that ignorance that will lead into the 10 of Parchment in reverse. This one based off a gentleman prefers blondes. I do see conflict in money, fleeting success. So, take heed, young one. It is that inspiration that can spark something strong, something passionate. But don't get carried away because that ignorance can lead to financial struggles.
Her eyes go a little bit wide at all of that. She is leaned in with her elbows on the table and her hands with her fingers kind of laced under her chin, watching you intently. And Sigrun, you feel it happen, or you feel it happening before it actually does. You don't have time to warn anyone, but you feel the pulse of power that usually only comes when you have utilized one of your cantrips. Except that it is stronger than you've felt since your chrysalis. That's the last time you can remember this much glamour flowing through you all at once. Your eyes, usually so dark, cloud over and go white as your hands one of your hands reaches out and grips her wrist where she was about to set down money for you, and the other grips the edge of the table. You can feel your limbs trembling with all that is pulsing through you.
In twilight of a gilded rain, as shadows dance and whispers feign, the high everyone's light shall dim and fade. By fate's cruel hand, a debt is paid. A sword of legend, lost in night, its gleam obscured from mortal sight. By treachery or destiny, in absence, a lost legacy.
Everyone else in the building feels the pulse of glamour that goes through the place. It is wild and unchecked. This is not the glow, the pleasant kind of steady glow that you usually get from your balefire. This is more than that. This is the feeling of being swept up in a tide, in a way that even for Georgie is uncomfortable and elating at this all at once. Elodie, you stop kind of in the middle of having Georgie chase you around, because you can feel what's happening and you're a little confused for a moment, and then you lose sight of the world around you, and instead you see glimpses. You see a glimpse of your hand clad in this shining plate, and clutching a sword, and you are swinging at someone in green, in green full plate. Their face is completely covered by a helmet, as the two of you clash in battle. Georgie, you are so sure that you're going to catch her. She is right there, and you reach out for her, and then suddenly you're not there anymore. You are on the back of a horse with someone's arms wrapped tightly around you, and you are racing over a misty beach. You can hear horse hooves in the distance. You know that they are coming and that they will catch you if you stop. Crook, you are on the back of a horse, clutching a lance to your side and charging forward. And you can see your opponent coming at you. They are in black armor. The two of you, your lances crash into each other's breastplates, or into each other's, not breastplates, shields, arm shields. And for a moment, you are sure you're going to be unhorsed, but manage to kind of lock your thighs around your mount's sides and barely hold on, even as your lance splinters and pieces of wood go in all directions.
Light of stone and marble spire, where power's grasp need not expire. Legends from forgotten days rouse the dream from ancient haze. The crownless stand with eyes of fire, as chaos fuels their heart's desire. Old bonds shall break, new pacts be sworn, as heroes rise and hope is born.
All of you blink, and you are back in the present for just a moment. Elodie and Georgie, you instinctively turn to one another, both mouths open to say something, and then you again lose sight of one another. You are all standing around a large feast hall in like the medieval style, except that rather than sitting at long, thin tables, you are all standing around a large, round table. And each of you is placing a sword on the table with its tip pointed inward towards the middle. Your shields hanging from the back of your chairs.
When echoes of the past resound, and ancient dreams again are found, the veil twixt worlds shall thin and tear. Beware the time, and all take care, for in the wake of shadows call, the fate of kingdoms rise and fall, and from the mist of time's timeless lore, the once and future dream restored.
All of you at once hear a roar of a creature none of you have met in person, save for Sigrun, who once saw one in a library many years ago when she went through her chrysalis. Each of you knows instinctively at your core that you are hearing the roar of a dragon, and then you all snap awake. Sigrun, you as well. The prophecy fades. You are losing the words that you said even as you begin to surface back into reality, back into the coffee shop, and you are looking at you were looking at Crook, who is a member of your motley, and Kira, who is not a member of your motley, but is a regular here at the shop and kind of a fixture locally for changelings. The tension begins to seep out of your muscles, and you feel all at once vaguely exhausted. You've had prophecies before, but nothing like this, nothing so unbidden, nothing so powerful, nothing that felt like the dreaming was a live wire that you had just grabbed hold of with both hands. Kira is staring at you with wide eyes, looking vaguely horrified, but also interested and confused and unsure of what to do.
It always hurts the throat.
Without thinking, she pushes her peppermint tea, which she has not touched yet, towards you.
Thank you.
What was that? I didn't see you casting.
It happens once in a blue moon, it seems. Prophecies, visions have a way of sneaking up.
If you could not do it to me when you're doing it, that'd be great.
Do you really think I wanted to do that?
Gauging what you want is not a game I play. Georgie, Elodie, you okay?
There is a tumbling sound on the stairs as both girls kind of finally fall out of the moment and realize that they were both kind of mid-step and are a little unsteady on their feet.
What was that?
Prophecy.
What? I don't think I like prophecy.
Yes, well, that was more intense than they usually are.
I look down at my hands and kind of flex them as though still remembering the feeling of gauntlets on my hands.
You still have the memory in your mind, though it is slipping away. You definitely remember what it feels like, even though you know you've never worn those.
Romps over to his table, flips back open his book, and begins scribbling down furiously.
Are you attempting to write down everything you can remember before it falls away from you?
Yep.
All right, that sounds like a roll. Let's make this wits and wits and kenning.
Okay. Standard.
Standard difficulty.
Okay. I am determined, so I'm going to spend a point of willpower on this.
Okay.
Also, I know my memory is kind of crap. And Crook is sort of muttering to himself, and then
2 successes. You managed to get a fair bit down. You don't know if it's everything, but you get a good bit.
Did everyone else see themselves at fucking medieval times?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kira speaks up at the same time Elodie does. Yes?
Oh, Elodie gets very flustered, realizing that Kira's here and that they have socks on their hands. And they slip off the puppets and just, hi.
Hi. She gives a little shy kind of finger wave. Are prophecies supposed to affect everybody? She says as she looks over at Sigrun.
How much does Sigrun understand these prophecies tending to happen?
Sigrun, make me a intelligence and Greymare check, please. Tarot will not apply.
You said Greymare and which one?
Intelligence.
Okay.
You're going to be standard difficulty. Remember that if you are determined, you want to know that you have at least one success, you can always spend willpower.
Sure, we'll do a willpower. Yeah.
Five successes. Okay. Typically, no. That's not supposed to happen. But this was also an unprompted vision. And there was so much glamour in the room that you could reasonably expect that glamour is going to affect the people around you in some way, shape, or form. And it kind of depends on what the dreaming wants it to do. The dreaming kind of tends to have a life of its own. It does its own thing a lot of the time.
Typically, it is not common, but the glamour is relatively strong here, so it's not surprising that it would affect multiple people. But the nature of unprompted visions and prophecy like this leads to an unpredictability.
That's a lot.
I do apologize that you were swept up in this. You don't have to pay the late fee anymore.
No, I said I would, and I will. I owe you that much. So if you could let go of my wrist, I'd appreciate it.
Oh.
You looked at her, realized that your non-dominant hand is still clutching at her wrist.
Apologies again.
She'll let go.
It's okay.
We'll point to Georgie and Elodie. One of you make Kira another peppermint tea. I think Sigrun's going to need that one. I'm going to step outside and make a call real quick.
Oh yeah. 1 second, and
I can do it.
I've got it.
I can. Shit. Elodie seemed to have been looking for an excuse to not be in frame right now.
It seems like Georgie was looking for an excuse to make sure that she has to be in frame right now.
Yeah, I noticed.
Actually, no, I just realized I'm on the clock and I feel bad about it.
Crook, you step outside into the cold. Who are you calling?
I presume as a knight of House Lianan, I have somebody who's a point of contact with the house.
Okay. Who are you? What? You know a number of people in the house.
Yep.
What are you trying to call about?
I'm trying to see if this happened. I'm trying to see if this happened further afield than our place. So my first thought is to call Godric.
Okay, you can call Godric. You have his number. He kind of owes you his life, so he's kind of on call when you need him. Your phone rings, and rings, and rings, and rings, and you don't get an answer.
Pick up the fucking phone.
You know from experience that Godric almost never fails to answer the phone when you call. Against all odds, he seems to like you.
Then the next will be, I know their house is an older house, so they probably have a house phone, a landline.
Mm-hmm.
I will call that.
Okay. It rings for several minutes before it picks up, and a familiar perky voice that you know belongs to a pisky with blue hair answers. Hello?
Hey, this is Crook.
Oh, hey. What's going on, Sir Crook?
Where is everybody? I just tried to call Godric and I didn't get an answer.
Oh, he's at the Parliament. Him and his mom both. There were some big debates going on today. I don't know all the details.
Okay.
It's just staff here for right now.
Anything weird happened there the last, say 10 minutes?
Here? No, I don't think so. I didn't notice anything.
Okay.
Are you okay? You sound a little shaken up. Haven't heard you this shaken up since, your chrysalis.
Our local slew is being weird. Gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, they do that.
All right.
What happened?
We don't rightly know yet.
Do you not want to
so
talk about it? Okay, that's fine.
When I know, I'll tell you.
Okay, well, I will let Lord Godric know when he returns that you called.
They're all at Parliament right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thanks.
Sure. And she hangs up.
Crook will walk back in. Let's take a field trip.
Where to?
What's going on? Do I need to get my notebook?
Probably.
Can I send a couple texts?
Or to who?
First one to Carter.
What does it say?
And just, it happened again. And then just sparkles.
You immediately receive back, well, you did say they were happening more often.
And then it happened to the whole motley.
There's quiet for a couple of minutes where you see the dot, the little I'm typing bubble pop up before you finally get an answer. And it's just ... Weird. Was someone messing around with something they shouldn't have been? Did Elodie do something again?
Always, but not related to this.
Huh. That is weird. I mean, without knowing more, I don't know that I could help.
Weird. Maybe it was localized. And then, actually, instead of texting, because I know she's not going to pick up, I am going to call my grandmother. She's not going to check her texts.
Okay. When the phone picks up, you can tell that as usual, she struggles a little bit with the cell phone. You can tell that she picked it up, but she's unsure if it actually picked up, and she's just like, hello?
You hold FaceTime farther away from your face, actually, Grandma.
You just get this image of just her forehead. And then she finally backs it up and sees you and kind of gives a wide smile. Oh, hello.
Hi. Sorry for the random call.
You never have to apologize for reaching out. Are you okay?
You're one of the only... Well, you wouldn't be, actually. There was the coat made a memory, or the Sluagh did. I wanted to know if it feels... Does the coat share memories like that to other people?
Not to other people, no. It might occasionally share memories with you if it thinks you need to know something.
Okay, I can't imagine whatever it is would reach all the way to you.
I didn't feel anything here, but without the coat, I'm nowhere near what I used to be, dear.
I know. Keep an eye on Grandpa.
I will. He's napping.
Okay. It's probably nothing. It hasn't done anything like this for a while.
What's going on?
I don't know. I think I'm just being a little nervous. Crook is nervous, which makes me nervous.
Okay. Well, if you don't share with me, I don't know how much I can help you, sweetheart.
We're headed to Parliament now. I'll ask. I'll let you know when I find out more.
You see her eyebrows go up. It's serious enough. You're going to the Parliament of Dreams in the middle of a workday?
Well, it's 3 hours ahead, so it's the middle of a workday, but later. Also, it's Saturday.
This seems very serious if you are abandoning work to go to the Parliament. Are you sure you don't want to tell me what's going on?
And George, looks at Crook. Do you really think it's that big?
He pauses a moment, looks at her, goes, "Did you see a big round table that you put a sword on?"
Yes.
Then yeah, I think it's that big.
We all got nightly visions. Night with a K.
I see. At the same time, all the same vision?
Yeah.
Was it from the same perspective?
George looks at the rest of them was it?
We don't know. Get your coat. Have this conversation on the way. We got to get to Gallery Place and get on the metro.
Got it, yeah. George is untying the coat from her waist and tying it around her shoulder, putting it on.
Okay.
Go
ahead.
It's the same writing vision from basically from when you gave this to me.
But you said you saw a table with a sword?
Round table, swords, lots of us, a handful of us.
Interesting. Well, shared visions are unusual, but stranger things have happened. Motleys are sometimes brought together again over the years. Perhaps the coat was once a part of the same motley you saw in your vision.
Well, we're headed to the Parliament first, and we'll find out there. Maybe it's just that would be nice.
Okay, well, you go on to the Parliament and call me if you need anything.
Thanks.
Of course, dear. Now, how do I hang up?
And I hang up for her.
Bye, Grandma. Bye. Did she hear me say bye?
I'm sure she did.
How long are we going to be there, Crook?
Long enough to find out if this happened to anybody else. Godric almost always answers my calls, and he didn't. And he's at Parliament, so I don't know what's going on there.
That's not answering mine either.
It's a multi-day thing, got it.
And Sigrun's going to go into her work phone and just put family emergency out of office for next days. For the following days.
Parliament's only right across the city. I don't know that you need to cancel days.
You may never know with prophecy shenanigans. And if
that's fair.
And if my mother happens to have a miraculous recovery, then I can come in.
Okay. Can I come with you? Because my dad's not answering his phone either.
Is he at Parliament?
He might be. Wouldn't surprise me. I can't keep track of him half the time. He's always running to and fro.
Right. Do any of you have money on your smart cards? Any of you?
Yes.
We do, yes.
And George will pull out 3. One of them, maybe?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I should be good.
I think Sigrun's also going to send a message out to her mentor, assuming that she's not going to hear anything back, and she's also going to message Rowan and be like, hey, just in case you come back and we're not at the shop.
We had to close up for the day. We'll explain later.
See you at Parliament.
All right, let's get walking. Wear your gloves, watch your step, it's icy out. Lock the fucking door.
Right.
Put on your shades.
They're already on.
Before we go out, I am going to run and shove my sketchbook and a bunch of crap into my duffel bag, but I'm also going to snatch up a marble composition book that looks beat to heck, and it is full of scribbles about everything I've learned about being a changeling.
This is your class notebook. Got it.
Yeah, basically.
This is how to be a changeling notebook.
And I run outside after them, almost slipping in the slush, as as Crook is telling us, wear your gloves, wear your hat, I'm winding a scarf around my neck, just like, just give me a minute.
All right. You all hurry out and head for the metro. Your nearest stop to where you need to go looks like it would be depending on how you want to go, it would be like Friendship Heights or like Farragut North. So you have to make your way to the Red Line, which takes some time. Is there any conversations that you guys would like to have along the way? The metro is mostly empty. They are running on a very reduced schedule because of the weather.
So, what do you guys see? And I poise my pen to be ready to write.
Be circumspect when you talk.
What?
We're in public, Squirt.
What were your dreams like last night? Eyes go sideways.
Subtle as a brick. I dreamed about jousting.
Okay. Scribble, 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 scribble.
Do you remember?
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
Please.
Go ahead.
Do you remember when we were explaining initiation to you? Well,
Yeah, we were talking about Fight Club.
Yeah. It's memories it's stories from that, I think. Writing.
Honestly, now that you mention it, I think back. That makes a lot of sense. But I can't quite put my finger exactly on... Do I remember my vision well enough to either write out a little bit or probably sketch out a little bit?
You didn't move to do it when it first happened.
Fair.
So I will let you make a roll, but you're going to be at an increased difficulty compared to Crook, who did it immediately.
Totally fair.
So we're going to go intelligence and kenning. Do you have kenning?
Haha, no.
Me realizing that you're a baby.
I'm little.
All right. Then it is going to be raw intelligence at a difficulty of 8. If you want to remember something, you should spend willpower.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend a willpower. How many can I spend again?
Just 1.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
In the bot, there's a willpower, and you just put true.
I did it.
Wow, still got 2. Not bad. You remember very faint, kind of flickering moments where you remember like a flash of green and the feel of metal around your around your hand, and that's about it.
Should I expect this to happen a lot?
Having visions just thrust on you, dreams like this thrust on you. Usually not right now.
Wait, not right now.
Well, you're still young.
I whisper like really low. Do I get like elf puberty? What does that mean?
You'll see.
But I don't like that.
Well, actually, it may be different for your family line. I can only speak for mine.
Sigrun, do you remember the poem?
Does she remember the poem?
Not much, no.
I figured.
It's hazy. The amount of energy it takes for that to happen kind of drains me.
I kind of side eye Kira a little bit and then just you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Good.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I stopped talking.
So does she. They simultaneously look in opposite directions, like away from each other.
Right. When we get there, find someone you know and talk to them. But don't need to necessarily volunteer everything that happened, especially if, fuckwit houses are about.
Why did that feel targeted?
Why did that feel targeted?
I don't know. I work for a fuckwit house.
Oh, this is
entirely fair.
This is one of those Crook thinks all houses are fuckwit. Got it.
Most of them, yeah.
I thought he was implying that I talk a lot.
You do, but that's not the point.
I have very important things to say.
You would do really well to snoop.
Snooping?
Snooping.
I have permission?
You have permission to snoop. But you know what you have to do to snoop. Shut up.
Okay. Aw, I was really excited. I thought you had faith in me for a minute.
Ow!
Oh, that hurt.
Yeah, Kira's eyes go a little wide, and she looks a little hurt on Elodie's behalf.
Old
She just
strings
sort
and
of-
turtles.
She just turns to stare at Crook like, how dare you?
No, it's fine. I'm tough. I'm a tough kid.
Bite or no biting.
Do good. We'll have a snowball fight when we get back. You put rocks in the snowballs again, I will eat your fingers.
You keep saying that, and the more you say it and don't do it, the
Edie.
less I take you seriously.
Okay.
You do know their kind can eat anything, right?
I mean, but I feel like there's a lot of consequences for eating my fingers specifically.
I don't think so.
Not to him.
Technically speaking, he's knighted, which kind of, makes him noble, and you're very not.
But Rowan will be very cross.
Oh,
We
no.
don't want Rowan to be cross.
Rowan's not noble
No.
either.
He
Nice
will
guy,
write
though.
me a
Fair.
You will write me a sternly worded letter, I'm sure.
He's not going to be mad. He's going to be very disappointed.
Kira leans in and whispers to Elodie, I've heard stories that there are red cap gangs in places like New York that serve as like body disposal for the mob.
That's really gross, and I want to go there now.
Why would you want to go there?
Because I'm fascinated.
It sounds like a good way for you to become a body that needs to be disposed.
I'm young. I'm vibrant. I'm going to live forever.
Okay. As this conversation winds on and Kira realizes that she has made a terrible mistake, the metro pulls in to the final stop. You guys have kind of been through a process of multiple switchovers and whatnot to get there, but you have finally arrived. You know that the Parliament of Dreams is currently situated on an island across the river. The only way to get there is on foot. It's not going to be pleasant making that walk in the cold.
Right. Get to stepping.
I'm making it a game. I'm doing the little hop skip, like from point to point that only I can really discern what kind of pattern I'm trying to follow.
If it's all too much for you, Sigrun, I can just put you in a burlap sack and throw you over my shoulder.
He does consider this for a moment because of the whole squirming thing that they can do.
Maybe on the way home.
Maybe on the way home. I bet they have a supply of burlap sacks just for that purpose somewhere in Parliament. Sounds like something they'd have.
As you are across the bridge, you all look up and realize that there are people coming across the bridge towards you. A number of them. They are also bundled up against the cold. They all look a little pale, a little shaky. Some of them have tears running down their cheeks that are quickly becoming frozen to their skin. At the not at the front of the pack, but you guys look up in time to see pushing through this pack of people, the tall, kind of imposing figure of Lord Eric Rhodes, Kira's father. He has spotted you and is hurrying your way. One hand is kind of on the railing of the footbridge, as he hurries much faster than anyone else is currently daring. To get to you. As he draws close, his eyes are kind of wide and he looks over everyone. Why are you all here? We need to go.
We were worried about you all.
Yeah, we're and he kind of looks back and frowns a little bit. We're fine, all things considered. Come on. Can't be here.
Why not?
What's happening?
I will
also,
tell
hi,
you
Mr.
when we are...
Rhodes, sir.
Hello, Elodie. I will tell you when we are not in the out in the open. Yes?
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Oh, it's a good thing I brought my car. Although it's going to be a squeeze with all of us.
Don't worry, I'm flexible.
He kind of blinks, and for a moment, Sigrun, you imagine that he is has involuntarily had a vision of that thrust into his mind's eye, and then very quickly kind of blinks and recovers. He looks over at his daughter, wraps an arm around her shoulder. Oh, I'm glad to see you. Come on. And he begins to kind of herd you all back across the bridge. Is everybody going to go with him?
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to pause and try and call Godric again.
It rings a couple of times before it picks up. And you can hear a lot of commotion in the background. Hello?
Where
Crook?
the fuck are you, my lord?
I just listened. Some weird stuff's going on. It's kind of crazy here. It's a little crazy here. Can I call you back, or is this like an emergency? You have to talk to me right this second.
I was headed towards you because you weren't answering your phone. Lord Rhodes is trying to drag us off. I'll be on my phone. Call me back.
Okay. And he hangs up. As he is about to hang up, you hear, Mother, we have to go. And the sound of his mother beginning to protest before the line cuts off. Assuming that you follow, Lord Rhodes leads you back the halfway across the footbridge that you guys had managed to get, and then across a street into a public parking structure, where he does not say a word. He is unusually tense. His jaw is kind of set through the whole walk. And he unlocks the car as you guys get close. It's one of those ones where it starts up like remotely, so it's already running by the time you get there. And once everybody is in, out of curiosity, what is the seating arrangement going to look like?
Depending on the circumstances, I can sit in the trunk.
It is not a hatchback. You cannot sit in the trunk.
Damn it.
Not good.
It is an SUV, so it is big enough for all of you. It's just gonna be tight.
I'm assuming I can't get shotgun.
No, Crook already called it. Not unless you want to fight Crook.
No, I don't think I want to test the theory about the fingers. So, I want to sit next to one of the windows just so I can look out.
Kira will slide into the front in the middle so that she is wedged between Crook and her father.
I think Sigrun will take whatever is like the remaining spot, just contorting her way to make sure that she's comfortable and leaves at least a decent amount of space for people.
Okay. I'm going to assume that it is Elodie at one window. You said Sigrun's in the middle in the back?
Yeah, about so.
And Georgie slides in on the other side as the doors shut and you begin to pull out of the parking spot. He kind of drums his fingers nervously on the steering wheel as he talks. So before I go giving a bunch of details. What happened to you?
So that's there was a puppet chase involved.
What?
So,
I think
What?
I think he means the other thing.
The shared vision.
Shush. Sigrun had a moment where she started reciting a prophecy of some sort, and a couple of us had flashbacks kind of like to our chrysalis.
He goes markedly pale at the talk of a prophecy. I see. Okay.
It was unprompted. It was during a reading for your daughter.
It's unusual that it happened so far away because it happened at the Parliament too. But it was everybody reciting the prophecy. Almost everybody. I've never had that happen to me before. But more than that was what came after the prophecy was over.
What happened?
You see his knuckles go a little bit white on the steering wheel, and he kind of does that like twisting, flexing grip that people do at times. And he rolls his shoulders. The High King is dead.
Oh, that is something.
Rip.
Not the best time to use short phrases like that, dear.
It means rest in peace.
I know, but not the best time.
I'm sorry.
Do we know how yet?
The guards didn't give specifics. Everybody who could be evacuated started evacuating. You all came up as the first waves of people were being let out.
What do you mean why evacuated?
From the Parliament? The High King is dead. They like I said, they didn't give specifics, but I would assume it was a safety concern. Send people home. Don't keep them all here if there's something going on that's killing people.
Oh, I thought it was like, oh, there's a power vacuum and people are going to start killing each other.
Not impossible, but unlikely. What did you all see in these visions that you had?
It was all personal stuff.
Okay. And he sort of relaxes a little bit at that and glances at Kira, who looks a little confused at that, but doesn't say anything for the moment. She looks like she wants to, like she doesn't feel great about potentially lying to her father. David Ardry is dead. We should have a High Queen soon, but things always tend to be tenable before everything is made official. I don't think most of you were awake the last time we had a succession crisis, but it wasn't pretty.
What happened?
There were 3 or 4 people vying for the throne. David Ardry had gone missing. He wasn't dead. He was just disappeared, him and Caliburn. And nobody could decide who should rule. A lot of major powers were at each other's throats. We were on the brink of an all-out war.
Well, who might be vying for the throne now? Is there a ring we should throw our hats in?
You want the throne?
No. I mean like putting our eggs in someone's basket, you know? I don't want responsibility. It's not my favorite thing.
He kind of tilts his head a little bit. There's a lot of potential people to step up. Princess Lenore is, in theory, supposed to be his heir, officially. When he returned, he made it clear that that's who he wanted. In theory, that should be respected. In practice, and he kind of makes a gesture like anybody's guess. In the car, you all have just been told that this is not the first time there has been a succession crisis, and that he fears that you may be on the verge of another if people do not uphold David's wishes.
Our Motley's really good at reaching out and sort of beating the bushes for information. Is there anything we should be looking for?
I don't know. What did you have in mind?
I don't know. That's why I asked.
I mean, I'm sure if you can find information on what happened to David Ardrey, people might be interested to know, but I don't know if the guards were purposefully keeping it hush-hush or if they didn't know yet. So I don't know whose toes you might be stepping on.
The Parliament had moved. Where was he?
He's not always or even often in session when Parliament is. So I don't know.
We don't know where he is now, or where he was, I guess.
I don't know.
Okay.
The guards didn't tell anyone or didn't announce it. I'm sure those who are, I don't know, closer to the inner circle, his inner circle probably will find out soon.
Is that what happened to him? Is that something that should be fully announced or keep close to small circles?
I suppose it depends on how he died. The way it was announced, however, and the look on that guard's face, I'm going to assume it wasn't naturally. I've never seen a troll cry before.
So we do some sleuthing. And we make sure that the path is clear to get things established again, and then we're rocking and rolling. No problem.
You could do that. You're going to be dragging your motley into the heart of changeling politics. Is that what you want?
I want to speak for truth and justice.
You still think you're a superhero, don't you?
What do you mean, think?
Well,
What makes me not a superhero?
height requirements.
That was uncalled for.
Enough, you two, please. I think this is at least a good opportunity to ensure that knowledge isn't hidden and kept away. Hiding such things or corrupting it to twist into someone else's benefit is not becoming.
If that's what you all want to do, I can't stop you. Just be aware of the landmines you are potentially going to step on.
Well, we live in DC. What else are we going to expect?
Are you sure?
Sorry.
Are you sure nothing else important happened? It's weird that you all had the prophecy. I mean, I know you're an oracle, but I didn't realize that you were that powerful. And he kind of glances in his rear view back at Sigrun.
Wouldn't you like to know how powerful I am? But for all intents and purposes, the only thing that really shook me is that this didn't come with any pushes of other magic, no cantrips. It was unpredictable in its energy. I wasn't expecting it, and usually I do.
Okay.
Begging your pardon, my lord. Did you have a vision?
No, I was... And he kind of gestures vaguely back in the direction that you all came. I was in the middle of it. I was one of the people who was reciting it, I think.
Sure.
Well,
Do you all remember any of it? Because I barely remember anything.
It's like bits and pieces and impressions. It's like it's like a dream.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
Why?
Well, because if it was a prophecy but we can't remember it, how much use is it going to be to us?
If everyone in Parliament said it, surely someone remembers it.
Oh, I'm sure they do. I don't know that person's going to offer up the information if they're the only ones who have it, though.
Is there anyone in Parliament that does the documentation as to what happens? Perhaps one of them was not drawn to recite and took note of it.
Yeah, there are a few. So they all have their, like everyone at Parliament, they all have their own particular alliances. I can put out some feelers if I need to. Try and figure out who might be best to ask. Or you guys could, since you seem to know so many.
Well, what was your plan when you left Parliament? What's your next step, Mr. My Lord, sir?
My plan was to get back to, to the coffee shop. I assumed you all would be there, and Kira hates doing her homework at home, so I assumed she would be. I wanted to make sure that you all knew what was happening, but you met me halfway. In the chaos, I couldn't get away as fast as I wanted.
I mean, after that, like long term, if this threat of succession thing goes through.
He kind of pauses for a moment, looks thoughtful. I'd back the person I thought was best for Concordia.
Is that the princess?
Maybe, possibly. Anyone who has it can make a wits and politics roll.
No.
Sorry.
Don't know. Let's see.
What were you gonna say, Crook?
No, I said I have that.
Okay. Wits and politics. This is going to be difficulty 7. See what you know of.
Ooh, 2 successes.
No.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Secret's just vibing.
Sigrun, you kind of have a more academic understanding of politics than an active knowledge about what's going on right now and who feels what about what.
That's fair.
Plus, you keep turning over what happened in your mind, trying to dredge up more memory of it, trying to make yourself remember. Crook, you haven't really talked politics with Lord Rhodes. You have, however, been able to observe him because the coffee shop is kind of smack in the middle of his little, kind of meager fiefdom. What you are aware of is that as a man, he seems to have more of an inclination than most to try to make things good for everyone, from commoner to noble, and even does what he can, and seems to even take an active interest in the welfare of mortals based on the donations he gives to charity, and the charities he donates to.
My lord, what do you expect is... Let me turn it on its head for a moment, because, well, I gotta be me. What would be worst for Concordia?
Worst for Concordia. And he kind of looks thoughtful. I don't know what person yet, because I don't know who's going to step up into succession. However, I remember the concern that we all felt over whether or not Regent Morwen, David's sister, would give up her hold before it was certain that he was dead. And I remember Queen Mab, insisting that Fairlith, his High Queen, had killed him, or was at least involved in his disappearance. I know that what would absolutely be worse, the worst possible outcome, is that we end up with another 3-way split of the kingdom or more. It'll pull us into chaos and war again. And then it's only a matter of time before everything falls apart.
Maybe that's why we got the visions, because I don't know about you. In my vision, I was fighting. Maybe it's a portent of what is to come.
Fighting what?
I don't remember exactly. It was green.
I thought you said that what you all saw was all personal.
Yeah, I think I saw something similar when I was in my chrysalis.
But it's not something you've ever actually done.
Well, no, I guess. I guess not, technically. But it's something I've seen before, you know? It has that, you know that feeling? There's a word for it. You know that feeling? That feeling where you're like, I've seen this before. I definitely had this. Yes. It's like, yeah, I definitely saw that exact word on this piece of paper 3 weeks ago while this person was talking to me. That was the feeling.
I see. And you saw yourself fighting something green.
Yes, indeed.
And he kind of glances over at Crook. And you?
Jousting.
For a moment, he looks almost amused at the idea of you, of all people, jousting. Interesting. Not what I would have assumed. Seemed like the up close and personal type.
Did I say I'm full of surprises?
He kind of glances up into the rear view at Georgie and realizes that Georgie is Georgie's got this kind of like 1,000-yard stare off into the distance and is completely tuned out the conversation, and he just decides to leave it alone with her. And this happened while you were having the prophecy, Sigrun.
Yes. Maybe as soon as Kira was about to pay for the tarot card reading transaction, that's when it happened.
He kind of glances at his daughter, who pointedly doesn't look at him.
Oh.
So you were giving a reading, and then this happened.
Yes. When Kira is at our shop, she is pleasant company, so whenever she gets a cup, I offer a little bit of a reading, and she appreciates them enough to tip for the service. You know, supporting the arts.
Of course. He doesn't sound disapproving, more surprised that she got into stuff like that and has never bothered to talk to him about it. Although you also get the feeling from the look on his face that news might have helped a couple of puzzle pieces he's been trying to figure out about maybe some finances finally click into place.
Tarot cards.
My lord, we're all relatively young and new at this. Were there any sort of signs and portents when David became king?
Oh, yeah. Have any of you heard of Sif?
Have I?
What rolls do we have to make?
That is a... That's a kenning roll, intelligence and kenning.
Haha, I don't have that.
Sure, I'll try it.
Epitome of very small. No, nothing.
This is a standard difficulty. If you do not have kenning, you can just roll intelligence at difficulty 7.
I mean, I'll try.
Whoa, that's
No.
a botch.
Yep.
And another botch. Holy cow, what is happening?
Just vibe in.
Come on, Elodie. Make the roll. Elodie, with her 2 dice and her higher difficulty, actually succeeds. Amazing. 1 success. Okay. Elodie, you have heard the name. You think you heard it from Rowan during one of his favorite things, which is story time, where he gets to tell you stories about the history of the She. And specifically Concordia. In the middle of the same day that the High King vanished, supposedly the story is that Caliburn, the High King's sword, materialized in Sif's possession. Sif is an Eshu storyteller. And communicated its desire to be reunited with David. Sif, bound by love and loyalty for the king, went and met with High Queen Fairlith and her advisors, who acknowledged the task the Dreaming had set upon Sif. And Fairlith ennobled him and charged him with locating David and solving the mystery of his disappearance. And then Sif went missing along with David for a very long time to try and find him. and eventually was the one who came back with David in 2005, so many years later.
That's the storyteller, right?
He looks a little shocked that Elodie of all people knows the answer. Yes. Sir Safe was the storyteller who the Dreaming reached out to and gave the task of returning Caliburn to the High King's hands and thus to bring the High King home.
So, where's he?
Don't know.
Oh, heck, he's gone too?
He, my understanding is that once he did his duty, he left.
Maybe the king isn't dead. Maybe he's out hiding and we gotta repeat history and find him and get this sword.
Hope springs eternal, but I don't want to be the one to bring down any sort of hopeful mood, but I don't think the king is alive. I don't think the guard would have looked that way if they hadn't seen him.
Maybe
this wasn't panic, it was heartbreak.
Is this like a sword in the stone situation? The sword will find out who is most pure of heart? That sounds like a changeling thing.
I mean, all stories are in theory changeling things, but I don't know, Elodie. I don't know where the sword is. I just know that it's not there.
Was there any sort of Arthur stuff around David?
I mean, other than the fact that actually, anyone who has academics can roll me an intelligence and academics roll.
Dang it.
Does my specialty apply to this?
What's your specialty for academics?
History.
I'll allow it.
Okay. So you said academics and what else?
Intelligence.
Please be nicer.
Well, Crook failed, but it wasn't a botch, so.
Much better.
Oh.
5 successes. That is much better. All right. Sigrun, you kind of turn the thought over in your head, and you realize that Caliburn is actually one of the variant names for the sword Excalibur.
Caliburn is one of the many names the Excalibur sword takes on. So, in of itself is Arthurian.
So I was right. I'm killing it today.
You should be proud of yourself.
And this
Thanks.
is very genuine.
Haha, I'm proud of myself.
Specifically, Sigrun, you know that Excalibur is the French name, and Caliburn is one of the translations. Or I should say Excalibur is one of the translations from Caliburn.
French in origin, I believe.
C'est très bon.
Everybody just sort of slowly turns to look at Elodie, who's usually this like rough and tumble, doesn't really understand half of what's going on, and now she knows more about changeling history and can speak French. What is happening?
Qu'est-ce que c'est? Je parle un petit peu français.
Fascinating.
I contain multitudes.
Good. Excellent. Harness that.
Now I'm scared too.
We get where we're going, you'll contain cheeseburgers. I'll get everybody something to eat.
Cheeseburger.
Does that mean I should stop to pick up food, or are we ordering something?
I'll take care of it, my lord.
Okay.
Unless you really want to treat us.
Crook has already said that he's going to treat us.
You can always do extra.
I am driving
this man.
I am driving so that you don't have to ride the metro, I'll remind you.
Very well, I can accept that for now.
We usually order in because they don't like to take me out in public.
I see.
Incidentally, do you have any burlap sacks at your house?
No.
Asking for a friend.
I do not.
No, he's fancy.
Okay.
He's got linen sacks.
After some time, you pull into a parking structure not far, or not a parking structure. You pull into one of the little parking lots not far from the coffee shop. Normally he would park on the street, but the street is kind of, blocked with snow on the sides. So he pulls in and parks. We should go inside. I think your friend is a little out of it. Maybe get her into bed.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Georgie up to our apartment, and then I'll meet you guys down there. Cool.
Okay.
Cool. If you find my sock puppets, please leave them where they are.
Elodie and Georgie walk off, and as you guys are letting yourself in the main door with Georgie's key that Crook has grabbed, Rhodes kind of turns and looks at you. Sock puppets?
Extracurricular activities.
We can explain, my lord, but you'd just be sadder afterwards.
Or amused.
Okay. Inside, it is warm, smells, and feels much the way you left it because you weren't gone for that long. Kind of the only thing that's changed is that the coffee pots have been turned off so that nothing burns.
We'll start a fresh pot. If I want anything.
I'd take a cup of coffee.
Siggy?
I'm good. I think I'm good for now. If the need arises, I can have my own brew.
I'd like another tea, please.
Right.
And Rhodes puts money down on the counter for both him and Kira.
Elodie is gonna skip down the stairs and just, she's resting.
Want something to drink?
Huh?
Do you want something to drink?
Red Bull?
There is a stash of Red Bulls behind the counter.
Do you want something to drink that isn't going to make me want to throw you out the door?
I'll take a latte.
Okay. Right. You two want to start beating the bushes, see if you can find out any. We'll start with: is anything weird going on?
I don't really know anybody. You guys know all the people.
Do you remember that meeting we had with Rowan where we all shared who we know and how we know them? And you talked about all the kids you talked to.
Maybe.
Right there.
Fine, jeez. Gosh, don't need to be...
Yes, I do.
If you don't wish to do that, you are very approachable. You have a type of charisma. Ease into that as well.
Mom always said it's a good thing I'm cute.
Exactly.
I think for right now, Sigrun's going to keep more into the shadow of things and do more listening than speaking with people.
Okay. Would you like to explain to me how you expect that to work?
Well, she has sharpened senses, so her perception's relatively good. So I think it is more so when she sees pockets of people like grouped together, just kind of fine-tune the listening ears and be on the lookout for any key phrases that come to mind, like key phrases as to what happened.
So you're going out into the city?
Yeah, I think she can do that.
Where are you going and who are you planning to listen in on?
Ooh. Oh no, my brain is braining. Rewinding. I think what she's actually going to do instead, can she do a soothsay to get more of a general... Seeing how she can't remember too much about the prophecy itself, maybe get insight as to what is the best course of action or what direction we should go into.
Okay. Let me look at your sheet to see what your realms are. You have prop scene time. Okay, so as a reminder, You can only use your arts on your realms, and Seen in Time alter prop, which is the only other realm you have. So do you have an item you want to use for this?
She can use her tarot cards, I think. Would that be applicable?
Thinking. You know what? I'll allow it because you were holding them when you did the first one, the first prophecy. So I'll allow it. Okay. So are you planning to use a bunk at all?
Remind me of what that is.
Bunks are kind of like little steps of whimsy and little bits of whimsy that you can introduce to the world that can help bring your difficulty down.
Okay.
The more complex and longer it takes, the more your difficulty drops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's do that. I think she's going to start with obviously the sign for the shop is reading close, but now she's going to start closing the blinds to make it as dark as possible. When the coffee is done, she wants to take some of the... Oh my goodness, what is the term for coffee? I don't drink coffee, so I don't remember the little grinds at the end.
The dregs?
Yeah. Coffee grounds, yeah.
Yeah, the coffee ground from the end of it. And she's going to just scoop them. And she's going to smudge on the table around to circle around the tarot cards itself before she starts doing the reading.
Interesting. Okay. I will allow that to give you a -1 to your difficulty. So that's going to drop your difficulty to 7 from 8. By default, cantrip difficulties start at 8. And your pool is, are you trying to cast into the future or into the past? Past will get you, will give you the chance to get your arms around the the prophecy itself. Into the future might give you hints at what's coming.
Let's do future because I feel like we're going. I think Sigrun's going to suspect that we're going to get prophecy stuff no matter what. It just depending on the circumstances of it. So, getting an idea of what is to come probably is the best course of action for her.
Okay. So your die pool is based on the art and the lowest rated realm being used, with the exception of time and scene. Those don't count. So you're going to roll 3 dice at difficulty 7. Okay. As a reminder, you can spend willpower for auto successes.
Yes, I will be doing that.
Woo-hoo. All right, for 2 successes. Oh, and you have to spend a point of glamour.
Okay.
All right. What you see as you cast your sight forward into the future as much as you can. It's difficult. You're not really using an item that is directly related to the vision. It was just sort of kind of used to induce it. So you know that you're kind of fighting uphill a little bit. What you get casting forward is that at some point you see you and the other members of your motley, Rowan, Crook, Elodie, Georgie, stepping between the long, graceful dancing branches and leaves of like a weeping willow. And you can see a ripple and a shimmer in the air in front of you that has a faint kind of silvery outline. And instinctively, you don't know how you know, but you know that that's got to be an entrance to the dreaming itself. you can sense the amount of glamour coming off of it and the kind of raw imaginative magic emanating from the other side of this like sort of portal. And you watch Crook step up first and disappear with a shimmer, and then Georgie follows, and then Rowan, and then Elodie, and then you return to the present.
It seems the dreaming is gonna be calling to us.
Again?
Well, this time we'll be stepping into it. It seems there is a entrance, a willow tree with a lot of glamour around it. You, then Georgie, then Rowan, Elodie, and myself, in that order.
I leave interpreting that shit up to you.
It is hard to truly parse, simply because it is a forced way through and trying to understand what is to happen. But I would like to hope, as the cards have deemed it, that it is a boon for us to do this. Resources will be made available.
Well, yeah, only good things happen when you're a hero.
What stories have you fucking read?
The good ones.
Remind me to not have you read Greek stories.
All the best stories have happy endings.
Remind me not to have you read the Greek stories.
Okay, I guess I'll remind you then.
If you want to keep that mentality, it's for the best.
Haha, haha. I'm unsettled.
Then I did my job.
Well, I'm gonna make a call, I guess, and see what I can figure out. But you keep doing your thing.
Yeah, me too. Elodie, when I wave at you, the burgers are here. Go outside and get them.
Why do I have to do it?
Because you are young and spry.
Scrappy.
And he paid.
Okay, these functioning knees are a curse in this community. And I'm gonna get on the phone and I'm gonna call the person I probably spend the most time with outside of the Motley, which is Victus.
Okay. The first time you call, there's no answer. But it goes kind of very quickly to voicemail, so you know that she's there.
Oh, you're screening my calls.
Do you call again?
When has that ever worked before? Of course I call again.
Excellent. After the second or third time that you call, the phone finally picks up. Yes, Elodie?
Hi.
Hello?
How are you?
Things are a little busy. What can I do for you?
Yeah, some weird stuff went down, and I was wondering if you knew about the weird stuff going on.
Everybody knows about the weird stuff going on by now, I would assume.
But, like, do you know the specifics of the weird stuff? Because we're kind of left in the dark here. But we felt it all the way at the balefire.
You felt it?
Yeah.
And you're at the coffee shop?
Yes, indeed. That's
Okay.
pretty weird.
It is. Give me 10 minutes, and I'm going to call you back when I can get somewhere a little bit more private, okay?
Okay, if you don't call me in 10 minutes, I'll call you in 10 minutes.
I know you will. Click.
They love me.
If nobody has anything that they want to do during that 10 minutes, we will skip forward.
Crook is making several phone calls, so that's probably going to go on for a while, so go ahead.
Okay. 10 minutes later, the burgers have arrived. The burgers are close. They have not arrived yet, but they are close. And Elodie's phone rings at Elodie is literally about to call back because she has been staring intently at the clock on her phone, waiting for it to hit 11 minutes. And at about 10 minutes and 45 seconds, the phone rings.
Hello?
Hey. I can't stay on the phone for long. What happened?
With us or with you? Because I don't know what happened. Okay.
We've put out a lot of calls. Nobody has felt anything.
So
outside of the Parliament.
We were all in the coffee shop, and Sigrun was doing a tarot reading, and then I was getting chased around because I had socks on my hands, and the roads. Well, one of the roads is Clara was here. And then apparently some sort of prophecy started coming out of Sigrun's mouth. And then I, while being chased with socks on my hands, had a vision, and I felt a bunch of glamour, and I saw something green that I was fighting. And then there was a table, and that's what happened.
Okay.
I don't really remember much.
Yeah, nobody here remembers much either. There are a handful of people who didn't get swept up in the prophecy for some reason, but nobody's being terribly forthcoming yet. Okay. It's weird that you guys felt it so far away.
So other people who weren't in Parliament didn't feel it?
Not as far as we've been able to determine, no. None of our contacts have confirmed being affected by the prophecy. We thought it was localized.
Wonder if Stinky Carter knows what's going on. Probably not. Stinky Carter doesn't know nothing with his stinky socks.
Okay. Listen, I'm not supposed to tell you this, so you've got to understand that if I do, this doesn't leave like your motley. They're the only people who can know.
They're the only people I really talk to. Well, no, I talk to everyone. They're the only people that really listen.
Elodie, I need a promise. Don't make me ask for a vow, but I will.
I promise that I'll do my best.
We don't know how it happened, but the High King was murdered.
I did know that.
In a place that is so private, most people don't know it exists. We don't know how anybody got to him. We don't know who it was. We just know that he's dead and the sword is gone. He was found in a pool of his own blood, and it was still warm.
Oh no. That's really bad.
Yes.
I regret my earlier statement. I feel like Rip does not have the proper gravitas anymore.
Did it ever?
To me.
Okay, well maybe
Okay.
that's something you need to examine.
Well, so there's this private place. How do you know about it?
Elodie, you realize that I'm one of the royal guards, right?
Yeah, but I thought that was like a title. I didn't think that was your actual job.
No, it's definitely an actual job. I don't go running around all the time looking for childlings to rescue in the middle of their chrysalis. I just have gotten weirdly lucky to stumble into the right places at the right time.
Yeah, you were really lucky because you met me, and I'm the best.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to help you. We can help you. We're really good at this.
How exactly do you intend to help?
By being scrappy and having a lot of gumption and stick-to-itiveness.
Okay.
If you give us info, we can do like the footwork for you. We can be like your agents, and we can find out who killed him and make sure they don't kill anybody else. Especially if there's going to be this big like power vacuum going on.
If I have more information, I'll let you know. All I can tell you right now, is that my brother is the one who found him. And he's been damn near inconsolable. So.
Oh no. Do you want to come to the coffee shop?
I can't. I'm working. I made an excuse to step away, said I was going to talk to some potential informants, but if I stay too much longer, they're going to come looking for me.
Well, you're not lying.
Well, except that it's more that I'm informing you.
But I gave you information.
Yeah.
Well, feel free to send your brother. I'm
Elodie.
listening.
You and your motley need to be careful. If you were the only ones outside of the Parliament who were affected, that means that the Dreaming wanted you to be. Not everybody is going to just step aside and let the succession happen the way it's supposed to happen. There are going to be people who are going to make moves, and if you guys go telling everybody, it's going to put a target on your backs.
Oh. Okay. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. I'm just telling you to protect yourselves. Be careful about who you talk to.
Okay. But yeah, the Dreaming reached out to us. That means we're supposed to help.
It certainly seems to want you to. If I knew how, I would tell you, but I don't. I'm just trying to hold things together here and keep things from devolving into chaos.
You're doing a great job, and we'll hold things up from our end over here, and we're gonna fix all this. We can do it. I know we can.
If the Dreaming believes in you, then I do.
Yay! Okay, I gotta tell the others, but should I not tell Lord Rhodes?
How much have you told him already?
He knows that we had visions. And we met him on his way out of Parliament because we went to go see what's going on there. And then he was evacuating, but we were with his daughter. So I don't know what she has told him.
Was she a part of the whole thing?
She said she saw something, but she was being a little weird about it.
Well, if she was a part of it, then the Dreaming wants her involved too. I don't see any reason not to tell him. He's a good man and he loves his daughter, so he's not going to do anything to hurt her.
So that means she's going to be spending more time around here?
Maybe.
Okay, I'm going to go. Let me know if you need anything, and I'll be there in a flash.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, love you, bye. I mean, I don't love you. Okay, bye.
Bye. She hangs up.
Okay, I got news.
And that is around the time, Crook, that your phone chimes. It says that the burgers have arrived.
Oh, you can deliver news along with the food. Run now, young one.
Wait, but, hey, damn it! And I run to the door.
The Grubhub driver outside is visibly shivering, and is thrilled when you come to the car, so he doesn't have to get all the way out. He just has to park in the street long enough to grab the stuff from the back seat and then hand it to you, and then he can get right back inside.
Thank you.
Yep, have a good day.
Sure.
Slams the door behind him.
I wonder if Crook tipped him. It'll be fine, and I go back inside.
Too late now.
I don't have any cash. What is this, 2016? I head back inside, and I have the bags in my arms. And I'm like, okay, I have food and news from a secret source.
Share your news with us, child.
Okay, so it has been confirmed that someone got into a place that they literally shouldn't even know exists, which I wasn't shared what that place was because, I shouldn't know that it exists because no one's supposed to know it exists except for the king, who was found killed in a puddle of warm blood, and the sword is missing.
Oh, man.
But Vigdis does seem to think that if the Dreaming reached out to us, that we need to be involved. Because we're heroes. That's what they said, verbatim.
I'm not going to require a roll for people to know that that's some bullshit.
Yeah, no, that's obviously bullshit.
I'm going to trust you, especially because you said that this was a secret source, and then you happened to say, I'm assuming a name, but I'm assuming that was just a silly nickname you gave them to keep them secret.
Damn. Heck. I mean, yes, a silly nickname.
You're a real super spy.
I'm trying so hard, and you're being so mean to me.
Yes, I'm being absolutely cruel to you. That's why I got you the garlic fries. Here.
Yay! I dig in like a friggin' wolf.
And suddenly Elodie forgets all of the mean things that Crook has said.
Crook is a being of intent and action and not words. And the sooner everyone understands that, the easier life is.
Yeah, no, Crook is always mean to me, but loves me more than anyone in the whole world. I'm the apple of his eye, his favorite person.
I have phone calls to make, so eat for a minute.
Okay, I'm really just gonna eat for a minute.
And this is why I called out of work.
For garlic fries?
No, because it seems like we're going to be going into some deeper shit.
Should I tell work that I can't come in?
It may be for the best.
You're already at work.
I have 2 jobs.
Oh.
You think I can afford rent on a part-time barista salary? Because I'm not allowed to be in here that much.
In this economy.
I'm not allowed to spend too much time in the freehold or else I'm gonna go nuts.
Fair enough.
Crook.
Crook is flipping open his notebook and going through the various contacts we have shared around. And I'm going to start cold calling people for most of our contacts are within mortal society. So I'm sort of talking around things right now. What I'm looking for mostly is any weird happenings, especially any weird happenings anywhere near the island where Parliament is. And, anything that reminded people of King Arthur, the Sword in the Stone, anything nightly happening someplace weird.
Okay. Rather than play out every call, I'm
Yep.
gonna have you make some rolls, I think.
Perfect.
This is gonna be manipulate.
You go ahead. Go ahead.
This is gonna be manipulation, and I guess we can go expression.
Contacts, maybe?
I was gonna give you additional dice for your contacts.
I will take additional dice for my contacts. Thank you so kindly.
But you are trying to manipulate people into giving you information without knowing that they're giving you information. So this is also going to be like a skill roll.
Perfect.
So we're going to go manipulation and expression. Cunning will apply. And I will give you 2 extra dice for your contacts.
All right. Standard diff?
Yeah, let's make it standard.
And I'm sorry, I almost forgot. This is not an intimidation roll. My difficulty is 8.
Oh yeah.
Because I always sound like I'm angry. So I will be spending a point of willpower on this.
Okay.
As I have to do several conversations through gritted shark teeth. 1 success.
Wow. Okay.
Oh my god.
Jeez. Pool of 7, 1 success. Fantastic.
And that's 1 success from the willpower. Otherwise, I would have botched.
Yep. Okay. The big thing that you get from calling around is that there does seem to have been some weird stuff going on in mortal society. It's not overt, and most people have just kind of chalked it up to coincidence or like not really noticed. One of the phone calls that you make, you can hear distinctly in the background the dialogue from a movie that you are secretly pretty familiar with. which is the old, I think it's like the 1980s Excalibur movie.
Nope.
Is playing in the background at someone's house when you call them. One of your other calls is actually to a contact that Sigrun has provided the group with, which is one of the local libraries. And, you know, like, you don't even know if this place is going to be open. Most of the libraries are closed, but occasionally people are there, like, during off hours getting, like, busy work done. Sigrun has mentioned that at least at her old library, it was one of her favorite times was to come in during the times when, like, they were closed and the public couldn't come in because it was quiet and peaceful in there. It was like the perfect time to get things done, and to kind of like smell the books. And you don't expect anyone to answer, but then kind of, you know, weirdly somebody does. Like they were maybe expecting a call, and when it turns out to be you, they sound a little surprised. And they try to kind of defer and say, "Sir, we're closed." And you kind of talk around it, and you're talking about,
hey, you know, I have a class project where a bunch of kids are supposed to read like Morte Darther, that sort of thing. Do you have any sort of like Arthurian stuff on the shelves?
Let me check and see if they're in stock, or if they've been checked out.
Thanks so much.
They put you on hold for a couple of minutes, and then they come back and they say, you know, it's weird. It says that they should all be checked in. We've got a couple of copies of Le Morte d'Arthur. We've also got the Annals of the King, and a few others, but I can't find them on the shelves. Maybe they got checked in but haven't been reshelved yet.
Okay, I can call back in a few days. I appreciate your time.
Of course. Thanks for calling.
Thank you so much.
They hang up.
Oh, fuck,
And
it's Rowan to get back here.
It's kind of a lot of that. It's a lot of calling and kind of like talking around things and finding out that there is, in fact, weird stuff happening around like Arthurian legend style things. Things that, you know, mortals aren't going to think anything of, but because you know to look for it, certainly stand out to you.
Okay. So call it a synchronicity. But if people weren't watching old shiny O Fortuna Excalibur, they're apparently making off with all the copies of Tennyson and Mallory from the library. The district's got
that's a coincidence.
The district's got Arthur on the brain.
Well, it's probably best to look into more online sources if that's going to be an issue.
You guys know what this means, right? We're gonna go on a magical quest. A magical quest for the sword, for Camelot.
Well, do I have to go to Great Britain or whatever it's called now these days?
God, I hope not. I don't like traveling all that much.
The dreariness is fine, but the people, ugh, so rude.
As this is happening and people are kind of eating and talking, I would like everybody to make a perception and kenning roll. If you do not have kenning, it's fine. You can still make just a base perception roll.
Heck yeah.
What did people get?
I got 2 successes.
I got 1 success.
Oh, poor Sigrun is just getting screwed one way or the other. This is a thing that involves your senses, Sigrun. Would that have made a difference?
Oh, I could.
I know you have a thing for senses. Does it like drop your difficulty or something?
It does. Where is it? The difficulty of any perception is reduced by 2.
Then yeah, that would have made a difference.
Oh, okay.
Because those 5s would have become successes as well. So you actually have 2 successes.
Yay!
Yeah, in the future, remember that.
Yeah.
Okay. everybody except Crook notices immediately. Crook will notice, but it's a slightly delayed reaction for him. Sigrun lowered the lights while she was casting her cantrip, but it has gotten significantly darker in here in the last 10 to 15 seconds. And the shadows seem to be collecting at the edges of the room and seem to be increasing. And it has gotten incredibly cold all of a sudden, despite the burning of the balefire and the heater being on.
What's happening?
I don't know. Lord Eric, you should take your daughter outside.
He is standing, and is reaching for Kira. He's kind of watching the room around him. He looks very wary, and you can see that he is reached into his pocket and has pulled out what looks like one of those long, thin, laser pointers. And Kira kind of blinks a little bit and looks around, and she stands. And as she stands, the shadows swirl up around her suddenly, and you hear a strangled scream, and then she disappears. And Lord Rhodes looks alarmed and angry and panicked all at once, and that thing that looks like a laser pointer extends into a long, thin, what you realize is a silvery staff that kind of sparkles with the energy that make up chimerical items. I need everybody to roll me initiative, please. All right. It looks like Elodie is first. Elodie,
Oh, no.
the shadows around the room seem to be... one of them seems to kind of swallow Kira, and she's just gone when the shadow dissipates. Two, the other shadows around the room seem to be coalescing and starting to form figures that are completely shrouded in darkness. So they're like humanoid shapes cloaked in these shadows. What do you want to do?
Oh dear. So I think I do what I was made to do. Be a superhero. And I guess I'm going to see if I do this right. Unleash Dragon's Ire with the goal of protecting his lordship and my friends, and doing my very best to not freak out that a cute girl from the coffee shop is now gone.
Okay. So as a reminder, your arts have specific powers. So let's go look at what Dragon's Ire can do.
Yeah. I'm looking. I had one that was pulled up, but then I had to scroll. I forget which one I could use. Shoot. Sorry. Yes, Burning Thew.
Okay.
This cantrip infuses its target with the burning might of legend, granting them tremendous strength and destructive power. So in order to do that, I'm gonna take my hands and I'm gonna smack them together real good and just get myself ready to attack the coalescing shadows.
Okay. Looking at your sheet, you have actor and you have fey. Good. All right, cool. So I want you to roll 3 dice at difficulty 7, please.
2 successes.
Excellent. Okay. And I believe that specific power comes with certain things that it does for you. It raises your strength rating. Successes on this cantrip's activation roll must be split between efficacy and duration. Each success allocated to efficacy adds 1 dot of strength or 1 die of damage. Each success allocated to duration extends the effect of Burning Thew by 1 round. So, if you want to, you can put 1 into efficacy and 1 into duration. So you get 1 extra strength dot, until the end of the next round.
Yeah, that's my plan.
Okay, cool. Crook, what are you gonna do?
Crook is going to do something very similar. He picks up his what looks to normal people like a walking stick, but looks to anyone with a chimerical eyes like a morning star. Takes it in both hands, kind of cracks his neck, and says to himself as a bunk, "I am a crooked man who has walked a crooked path. Now I'll walk my crooked road to beat your ninja ass."
I love that. I love all of that.
And yeah, I'm going to use Burning Thew on myself.
All right. That is 4 dice. I'm going to give you a -2 because that was very good. To bring you down to difficulty 6.
Right. I also know it doesn't add to my dice pool, but I do have 1 rank of time.
Okay. Sure. It doesn't add to your dice pool, but you could
So 3 successes. I will raise my strength by 1, and I will spend the other 2 for duration, which I think will take it to is 2 rounds.
You get it this round and then 2 rounds beyond this, so
okay,
3 total.
3 total, and then time 1, I think doubles the duration of any cantrip I use with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll give me 6 rounds.
Perfect. Okay.
And then as a move, I'm going to put myself between any coalescing shadows I see and Sigrun.
All right. Very nice. Sigrun, what would you like to do?
Sigrun's not really built for fighting, but she's
Sigrun's like, I'm gonna hide.
she's built for observing more so than anything. So with a combination of she has the merit night sight, and then with the sharpened senses, she wants to be able to, she wants to essentially help Crook in pointing out the shadows.
Okay.
Provide assistance.
All right, I think I could allow that. I'm gonna have you make perception and alertness roll.
Okay.
No specialty for this. This is just a
Right. Is this okay, well, never mind. It's not.
It is something that depends on your senses, so you do get to lower your difficulty from 6 to 4. Normally it would be harder for other people to see, but you get to see in the dark anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so perception 4 and alert. 5. No, I won't willpower that. 5 success.
Holy cow. All right, cool. With 5 successes, I will say that you can, on the next round, split that die pool to give either Crook or to give Crook and Elodie extra dice, but you have to split the die pool between them.
Okay.
You could either give all of them to one person, or you could split them up and give like 2 and 3, or however you want to play it.
Gotcha.
And I will allow you to make that call as things go on. Just interrupt me when you need to.
Sounds good.
All right. As everybody is calling on their cantrips and preparing for battle, you guys see Lord Rhodes gives a little spin of the staff and brings it down hard on the floor. And as he does so, you realize that there is something about him. You guys all kind of see this flicker of chimerical magic, this cantrip that kind of passes in front of him and around him, which looks like he may have done something to give himself a little bit more protection. And the shadows fully begin to coalesce into like proper figures now stepping away from the shadows itself. The shadows kind of like drag at them as they move before finally falling away, leaving these dark figures, which you realize everybody realizes, even in the darkened room, that they have glowing eyes that look like burning red coals set into the blackness. One of them lunges at Lord Rhodes, who engages with it. And then there are 3 others who are going to... 2 of them are going to jump at Crook, and 1 of them is going to jump at Elodie. Sigrun.
I think I'm going to give 3 to Elodie and 2 to Rook.
Crook? Yeah. Okay.
Rook, yeah.
Cool. Making some dice rolls. This one's going to be on Elodie. Ugh, 2 successes. That's not very good at all, but it at least it hits, I think.
I forget where to check.
Let me find you the right page so that you can follow along with the combat stuff. Sorry, guys, first session. Knocking the rust off. It's been a while for some of us. Where are the rules for combat things?
275.
Yep. We have done initiative. Skipping maneuvers. All right. Okay. Now I get to roll damage. Sorry, guys.
You're fine.
Well,
I'm lost.
They're not doing much damage, so it's not, it's fine. Difficulty 6. All right. Roll your stamina, Elodie. Elodie?
Yeah, sorry. The pool is 3 at what difficulty?
Roll 3, difficulty 6.
Okay, perfect.
We're just trying to see if you could soak 1 damage. 2 damage. And you do. So it's fine. It lashes out with a fist and catches you in like you bring your arms up in that boxer training that you have to block it. And it just catches you in the arms and bounces off harmlessly. And for Crook, we are gonna do 2 rolls. 1 and 1. Fantastic. These guys suck. 3. Nope. 1. Crook, would you like to roll to soak?
I'd love to.
Yeah. All right. Elodie.
He grins. You kiss your mother with that fist.
Elodie, you watch as this is happening, and you kind of glance over while 2 of them are wailing on Crook, and it looks like it should hurt more, but Crook, at least in your kind of childling's eyes, looks like a superhero, because he just takes it and doesn't blink, and even comes like back with a quippy one-liner.
Oh, so cool.
All right, back to the top of the round. Elodie, what would you like to do?
I'm going to try to hit him in the
All right.
face.
Roll me
with
dex.
my fist.
Roll me dex plus brawl.
Absolutely.
Your dex specialty does not apply.
Nah.
So this is dex plus brawl, difficulty 6. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, that's 5 successes.
Okay.
This is what I was made for.
All right. Here's my question. Do you have your combat stuff written down? Does not look like it. That's fine.
Heck.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Oh my goodness. Because you don't have it written down, we're just gonna go with some defaults. And I'm gonna have you roll roll me 5 damage dice. Difficulty 6. It's your strength. Roll me your strength plus what did you roll? Strength plus 3.
Absolutely.
Difficulty 6, there are no botches on damage rolls.
Oh, that's 6 successes.
That is so many. That is many successes. Okay.
Crook, are you proud of me yet?
Give me just a second, kid.
You're actively being beat to shit, and I'm just like, Dad, look, are you proud of me? Dad!
Okay, so I have good news and bad news. The good news is you connect solidly and do 3 levels of damage. The bad news is they manage. You do 6 levels of damage, but the bad news is they soak 3 of those, so you only do 3.
Oh wait, there was an additional dice I forgot because of my dragon's ire.
Then roll your extra die
Whoops.
at a difficulty 6 and see if it helps.
I'm learning.
It's not going to change the outcome of the soak, so it's just whether or not you do an additional level of health damage.
Yeah, exactly.
Nope. Okay.
Nope.
Crook.
All right, my turn. And lifting the Morning Star. These things are nominally humanoid shaped.
Yeah. They are
then,
shaped like people. You just can't see specifics other than their eyes.
Well, we're based on where its eyes are. It's this Morning Star is going right in their ear.
Okay. Roll me your dex and melee.
I miss.
Oof. That's a lot of ones. I'm sorry.
All right, that's my turn.
All right, Sigrun, would you like to roll again to see how many dice you can give them next turn, or would you like to do something else?
Heck yeah, because I keep looking. It's like, I can't do much here.
I forgot to add the 2 dice that Sigrun gave me.
Oh, well then roll your 2 dice.
Next time I'll make sure to remind.
Are they always added to the very next thing, or are they added to a thing you select?
The thing you select within that turn.
Roger that.
So
Okay.
that would get me 1 success. No, it wouldn't.
No, it wouldn't, because you rolled 3 ones. Oh,
Yep. So, never mind.
sorry. Okay, Sigrun, perception alertness.
All right. What was the difficulty again?
Standard diff, 6. And it lowers to a 4 for you because you are slower. All right, that gives you 3 that you can split between the 2 on the next round. Okay.
We can do 1 for Elodie and 2 for Crook.
Okay. Very cool. You all watch as Lord Rhodes continues to be caught up in combat with one of them in particular. Somehow this one seems larger and a little bit more solid than the other 3. And he is hyper fixated on dealing with it. You could tell that this is not an easy fight for him, but he is holding his own. So far it has not managed to hurt him. All right. Back to other things. If your girl could find the thing that she's looking for. Okay. On Elodie, the one that you hit is going to attempt to hit you back. And I'm going to double check. It took 3, so it should be 1 die down. All right, that's 3. And for damage, it's gonna do math. Math is hard. 2. Roll me your stamina, please.
Roger that.
All right, you take 1 level.
I gotta add 1 die for
Yes.
what Sigrun gave me.
Try to remember to do that during the roll and not afterwards, because it feels a little cheesy.
Yeah, I remembered as soon as I hit enter.
All
2
right.
successes.
And you soak both of them, and that die goes away for the round. Crook. 2 hits on you, my guy.
Yep.
That connects. That doesn't. Damn. 7 dice. No successes. All right. No, that's wrong. I can math, I swear. 2. Would you like to roll your stamina? And you soak again. Well, you're not doing a whole lot of damage, but they're not really doing anything to you either. When you swung on the ones in front of you, Crook, the one in front of you it did that, like, juked backwards just out of reach, and your mace kind of just whiffed in the air. And it comes back and it strikes at you, and it brings a fist like dead into your sternum, and you are sure that you're about to have the wind knocked out of you. But somehow you manage to kind of like steel yourself against it, kind of almost lean into it a little bit, and it dissipates some of the force. And all you do is let out a little breath, but you can breathe just fine afterwards. Elodie, meanwhile, gets kind of socked in the jaw a little bit, but it's not bad. She's had worse. All right, Elodie.
Absolutely.
Dex and Brawl, please.
Okay, perfect.
And just as a reminder, you no longer have your additional strength.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay. Not that it matters for this, but...
You said strength and brawl or strength and dex?
Dex and Brawl, sorry. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. I'm so sorry.
I was thinking about reminding you that you didn't have your strength.
No, I almost just certainly misheard you.
All right.
That's two. That's not bad.
That's fine. So it's your strength plus 1. Or
that's
1.
1 damage if they don't soak it up.
That's okay. They are headed. Oh, yeah, no, that is a 2. You are right.
Yay!
Correct. And they're at a negative because you've already done damage to them.
Take that.
Their pool is smaller than it should be. All right, so they soak 1 and take 1. And you can see the shadows that make up this figure have begun to kind of dissipate and flake away in places, like they are less solid.
Come at me. Hit me again. Try it. Try it, bro.
All right, Crook.
All right. They've hurt the kid. Now I gotta hurt somebody. So we're gonna swing again. And he gives this sort of roar as he swings. And I'm gonna spend a point of willpower on this.
Do it. Watch this be the one that you roll really well on.
Thanks, Dad.
And I am I'm throwing a Sigrun's dice into this as well.
Okay. Holy cow! 10 successes?
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
That'll be 10 successes. Base damage is 7.
Oh,
My father is angry.
I'm gonna be real. That's such a good roll, and I think even if they soak as like on every of one of their stamina dice, I don't think that they can pass this. So how would you like to finish off the one in front of you, or one of the two in front of you?
So the one who connected and its fist is kind of in my chest. When they connect, they hit, and there's this feeling like they're sort of slamming into a piece of rock, and so their fist sort of stays there for a second because they're confused. I will look into its burning eyes, said, "You should have backed up again," and bring my Morning Star up around in an arc and right down on top of its head, and the Morning Star just keeps going.
It absolutely does. You feel it connect with its head, and watch as in real time as your Morning Star comes down through the shadows that make up its body, that they begin to break apart and dissipate, and you watch them kind of float like dust motes back into the thicker shadows at the edge of the room. And you feel the room get just a little less cold than it was a moment ago.
You're next, Puddin'.
Excellent. Sigrun.
Round 3 of just providing support.
Sigrun is like, I got this. I'm just sharp eyes.
Legend shit.
Perception alertness, difficulty 4. For 5. Good lord. Get this girl a perception specialty, please. You roll so many 10s. Okay. So how do you want to split those up?
Let us do 3 for Elodie and 2 for Crook.
Okay. Alrighty. Elodie, the one who has been fighting you is in rough shape. He's having a bad day. You've done some damage. I am making sure that I've got my numbers correct on my negative so that I don't screw you out of anything. Okay, yeah, he's at a -2. So he's down to 5 dice to hit you. So that's 2. So he does actually hit. He's gonna have 2 dice to try and hurt you. Nope. Just whiffs. You can tell that this figure is having a hard time holding itself together as it tries to strike out at you, and nothing happens. Looks like its arm goes a little bit see-through for a moment.
Aw, what you gonna do? You gonna cry? You gonna cry, Shadow Guy? You gonna cry?
Crook, the one left with you, manages to connect. Let's see what he can manage. That would be 3 successes for damage. Would you like to roll to soak? And you soak all of it. Good lord, these are the most ineffectual bad guys to ever bad guy.
It's the first session.
We are establishing our badassery early. Thank you very much, GM. Okay. Yeah, the other guy's gone. You guys see Lord Rhodes continuing to battle. He's taken a couple of blows, but he is still on his feet and still moving with a surprising amount of alacrity and dexterity. He moves much faster than any of you would have ever given him credit for. And I believe one of you has 2 dots in Dragon's Ire. Yes. Crook, you recognize what he did. He wove himself in a protective cantrip that is a part of the Dragon's Ire art.
Wow.
Okay. Back to the beginning of the round. Elodie, are you gonna finish him off?
I'm gonna hit him!
Hit him, do it.
And I'm gonna use all my dice, so that'll be a lot of dice.
Dex plus Brawl plus the 3 that Sigrun gave you?
Yes.
Difficulty 6. Let's do it.
Are you kidding me?
That's okay. You still hit.
I still hit.
3 is still a hit.
10 dice.
So that's your strength plus 2.
Oh.
Oof.
Only 1.
That's okay. He's got almost nothing for stamina right now, so. Oh, and he soaks it.
Damn it.
Crook.
I'm gonna get you.
Crook is going to turn on goon number 2 here. And let fly.
Oh, 9 successes?
You stole my successes.
I have had enough of shadows in my fucking house.
This is another one of those, I mean, let's roll your damage to see, but I really don't think they're going to be able to do anything about it. So that's 8 plus your strength.
Strength plus 2 for the Morning Star.
Okay. Plus 2 on top of everything else.
He can soak 7.
Oh, okay. This seems unlikely, but he's gonna try. Yeah, he takes 6. Wild. You nail him with this Morning Star, and maybe it's the chimerical nature of the Morning Star and the seemingly chimerical nature of the things in front of you. But you bury this Morning Star in its chest, and you don't hear anything, but you feel like you can feel bones giving way underneath of it. And it is so dissipated that there is barely, it is nothing but frayed wisps in front of you, barely holding on. Okay. Sigrun?
Can she provide support for the Lord?
Absolutely.
That will provide support for Lord.
All right. Give me your perception and alertness then.
4.
All right. Are you giving him all of those, or are you going to split them up?
Let's give 2 to him and then 2 to Crook.
Okay, cool. I will add a note for that. And we're gonna have Elodie get like the lamest hit to ever hit. Because this guy has gotten the crap kicked out of him a bit. Nope.
Doesn't even hit.
Whiff. And Crook may actually be dealing with the lamest hit to ever hit because this guy is way more hurt. He's at a -5. He's got 2 dice for 1 success. All right, cool. Not that it matters with Crook's ability to soak, but let's try it anyway. Oh, actually, yeah, he only gets 1 die because his negative is bigger than his strength pool. It's funny. Nope. Crook, this thing tries to whiff at you and just it's having such a hard time holding itself together that nothing happens. Lord Eric seems to be doing better, especially with Sigrun calling out warnings to him as the larger, more powerful one seems to like lash out at him every so often. And he sort of dodges and knocks things away. And then you watch as that shining silver staff spins over his head, and he brings it kind of like down and around at an angle towards where the neck would be. And you don't hear a crack, but you can almost feel it. It's like the room reverberates with it when it connects. Elodie.
I'm so angry that I didn't really do anything with that last hit, and I just smack 1 more time right in the shadow gut.
Do it.
1.
That's fine. Strength +1.
Well, bam, that's 3.
Well, yeah, okay. Nope. All right.
Bam, 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 bam.
That is 3. Which puts him over, and he dissipates and soaks back into the shadows around him as he breaks apart.
As he disappears, I spit on the ground.
You're gonna have to mop that up later.
Coward!
Crook, finish him off.
Crook is looking at this last guy. He's got the morning star up. He looks at it, looks back at him, goes, "Now, for you, something special. Open wide." And I'm gonna bite him.
Okay. Dex plus brawl. And I'll allow dirty fighting.
All right. The sad news is that a bite is difficulty 8.
Yeah, it's harder. But really, at this point, all you've got to do is hit him.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. 7 successes. We're not going to bother with damage.
Over 3 successes, I get to chomp something off.
Well, there really isn't anything to chomp, is the thing. So here's what happens. You lean in and open your mouth and go to try and take this thing's head off. And it works. You can tell that you got its head between your teeth. And then you clack down with those kind of razor sharp shark's teeth. And it goes through like a hot knife through butter, which admittedly isn't all that unusual for you, but there's like no resistance at all. Your tongue feels numb, like as soon as it connects with whatever this thing was made of. And the inside of your mouth feels like you've got, you know, when you get so cold that everything burns? That's what it feels like inside of your mouth. But the figure dissipates. And that happens just in time. Actually, I would like Sigrun, because you've had the time to watch. And Elodie can roll as well. Roll me intelligence and kenning. If you don't have kenning, you can just roll raw intelligence. Difficulty 6.
I know nothing.
Elodie is too busy calling her defeated foe a coward.
And spitting everywhere.
3 successes.
Sigrun, you realize that as these things that your friends are fighting dissipate, it seems like the larger figure that the Lord is dealing with is also getting weaker and slower and a little bit smaller. And when Crook polishes off the last one by biting into it, the Lord brings that silvery staff up and around, and then jams the end of it into the center mass of this figure. And you all hear like a gut-wrenching, high, thin scream that reminds those of you who read a lot, which I believe is all of you, reminds you of the description that you have read in some fantasy novels about what a banshee might sound like. And then it dissipates, and the shadows recede, and the room gets brighter, and you are all four standing there. Kira's bag is there. Her tea, which was dropped when she disappeared, is splashed all over the floor and the table, and she is gone. And Lord Rhodes turns to all of you and goes, "What was that, and where did it take my daughter?"
I don't know.
The scream was banshee-like.
Why would it take Kira?
I don't know what happened. I don't know what you all saw. I don't know. I don't know if she was meant to be here or if she just got caught up in it because she was close. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We have to find her.
I look at Sigrun with my big old unsettling green eyes and just, you can find her, can't you?
I can certainly try. At the very least, her belongings are here. Her energy and her essence attached to them could assist.
If anyone can find her, it's you. You can do anything.
Oh.
With your faith, I will certainly do my utmost to not disappoint.
Crook, you were going to say something?
Right. Elodie. And he will hold out his fist for a fist bump. Bring it in.
I fist bump proudly. I did good.
Way to kick ass.
I did good. Thanks, Coach.
Those things taste like a motor oil Slurpee.
What does that taste like?
Not great.
Okay, well, we can figure that out later. I think we have some more pressing matters.
Thank you for listening to District of Dreams, a Changeling the Dreaming actual play by Hollowhaven Studios. Storytelling for this actual play was provided by Bloodied Porcelain. Sir Crook is played by Bookkeeper. Elodie Blight is played by Hannah Marie. Sigrun Spellman is played by Madame Ava. Rowan Parsons is played by Rob Davies. Georgina Byrne is played by Clara Allison. Our intro music is by Michael Shynes. Our art is by Instagram.com/V is for Vampire. And our editing is by Virons.